Good morning. Good morning. How are you doing this morning? Thank you so much for joining me. I'm going to give a few minutes for Facebook to notify people that we have gone live. Come on in the room. Come on in the room. I'm so grateful. Come on in the room. Welcome. Welcome. Thank you if you are joining me. Thank you so much. Just to show you how using cellular devices look different. But welcome, welcome. Thank you once again for joining me. I am your host, Shamika Willis, also known as Lady Queen I Am. If you are viewing via Facebook, thank you so much for joining me. Please press the heart button, then press the share button to every group and page you are associated with. Like I said, I can reach a few, but with your help, I can reach so much more with what the Word of God is saying. If you're on YouTube, please consider subscribing, pressing the bell, because when you do that, it helps with the algorithm. It helps with the algorithm. Welcome, welcome. Thank you so much for joining. If you're commenting, I'm so sorry I cannot see it. Um, I did get a notification just a second ago saying that hey, someone commented on your video, but I'm on the video and I cannot see it. So if you are commenting, please forgive me. It's a little different right now. Ever since Hurricane Delta, my internet, I haven't disconnected anything, but it's still saying no internet on my desktop, but yet I still catch Wi-Fi, all that great stuff. So I don't know. I'm about to get my son to look at it for a second. But as you saw the title this morning was grateful, and a lot of times we do not think about all the things that God has blessed us with. We do not, whether it be um, God, I'm grateful for the lights. We take it for granted. We pay the bill and we expect it to be on, right? But like just telling God every single morning, Father, I'm grateful for allowing me to open my eyes this morning. Father, I'm grateful that I was able to fix my own cup of coffee. Father, I'm grateful, just everything that we're grateful for. Because when you begin to look for things that you are grateful for, and hear me out, it's been not only scientifically proven, but the Word of God talks about this. Paul actually talks about this. When you seek out those things to be grateful for, hear me. When you seek out things to be grateful for, your mind then starts to look for things. Well, hold on. I want to make sure it's not like a duh moment. Okay. When you seek out things to be grateful for, right? So I begin to tell God, God, I'm grateful for this. I'm grateful for that. When I first wake up, throughout the day, my body will start to look for things to be grateful for, right? So it's amazing the way the mind works. But I remember when I was waking up at 3 o'clock in the morning 2:30, 3 o'clock in the morning to drive to Lake Charles to work. This was definitely something that I did on the ride to work. And it was like while I was even at work at 8 o'clock in the morning, 9 o'clock in the morning, all these times that I was at work, I was looking for opportunities or for times to say, you know what, I'm grateful for this. So it was like I was looking for more positive things in my life to be grateful for. And I want you to hear me, even with people that are in your home. Whenever, and actually, a queen that I talked to, she even told me this has happened to her very recently. But when you keep on saying how grateful you are for things, when you keep on putting out positive things, even in your home, even when you're in a negative space, sometimes the people that are negative will actually start to do what you do, right? So they'll start looking for those grateful things. No, remember we're supposed to be grateful about this. Remember we are supposed to think positive, things like that. And I want to give you another example. My baby son, he's 3, and he sometimes will say, I'm scared. And when I hear him tell me that, I say, no, you're powerful, or no, you're strong. And when Hurricane Delta happened and all of the electricity shut off, right? He, it was not really dark yet. Like it wasn't really dark outside. They still had some light from windows and stuff. And he goes, I'm scared. And I didn't say anything because I was like, well, the wind is blowing a lot. It is starting to rain and, it's gloomy outside. And underneath his, little voice, he goes, no, I'm powerful. Like, so children even hear what you say. Children even, they will mimic how you react to things. They will mimic how you respond to things. That's why I tell you, somebody is always watching. Somebody, even when you don't realize it, even when you feel like, I've said this so many times to this person, trying to be positive, trying to change the way that I think, trying to change my mind, and trying to let them know I don't want negative around me and stuff like that. One day, just after, and I can't tell you how many times I told him because I've told him a few, and just reminding him, he'd say, I'm scared. And I said, no, you're not, you're powerful, or no, you're not, you're strong. You don't have to be scared of this. You don't have to be, scared of that. Just telling him things like that and just always reminding him who he is, always reminding him that he's powerful. And sometimes we need to do that to ourselves. Remind ourselves how powerful we are. Remind ourselves how strong we are. Remind ourselves that we're bold and confident. Remind ourselves that we have peace that passes all understanding. Remind ourselves that um, when there seems to be no way, God always makes a way. Remind ourselves of all of these positive things, all of these great things. Take the time to remind yourself of these things because I remember when I was saying affirmations on the way to work, on the ride to work, it was almost like my body was looking for opportunities to be bold, like I would say, to stand up for something that was not right, to speak in confidence when I believe it was something to stand up for. My body looked for those opportunities. I want you to think about it whenever if you have gotten a new vehicle before, and it necessarily isn't vehicles that you've seen on the road before, but it was on the lot. It was in your budget, um, and you end up getting this vehicle. All of a sudden, you start to see vehicles just like it. Your body's looking to confirm itself. The mind wants to agree with itself. So that's why you start seeing these things all over the place. So if you take that and begin to apply it to your life, where you say, you know what, I see that I'm grateful, Father, that I can read. I'm grateful, Father, that I can write, that my fine motor skills are still working. God, I'm grateful that, I have ears to hear. Um, many of you know I have what's called keratoconus. So my eyes, my corneas are pointed instead of round. And I had one cornea transplant already, but my right eye I have not. And even through that, like I tell God all the time, God, I'm thankful that even sometimes I'm squinting. Even God, I'm thankful and grateful that I can see. I'm thankful and grateful that you have given me the the ability to be able to read. Just for simple things that people take for granted. Simple things that I take for granted sometimes. Like I want to remember to tell God how grateful I am because He allows me to see. He allows me to, read. He allows me to be able to do all of these things. And He, even with you, allowing you to get to work safely, allowing you to go to the store safely, and that He's protected you, that He's hid you underneath the shadow of His wings. You know, um, um, just everything that He does, just remind yourself of those things. God, I thank you that you give me peace that passes all understanding. Good morning, Queen Margaret. Thank you for joining me. Thank you so much for joining me. I'm sorry if I'm late seeing your comment. It just popped up now. And for those that have commented maybe on a post that I've shared on, because I know a lot of times it doesn't all go to one post, and I don't see it later. I don't see it till later when I start looking at all notifications to respond back. But just think about that. You know, somebody somewhere might be sitting under a bridge, praying to God, God, help me, help me to get a meal today. Help me um, to be able to take a shower today. You know, I want you to think about somebody in the hospital that is paralyzed, but yet still is able to think, saying, God, please help me to be able to feel today. Help me to be able to even move my big toe. Help me to be able to do all of these things, the things that we don't even think about and we just do. You know, think about those things, put your mind on those things and say, God, I'm grateful that I'm able to sit up. God, I'm grateful that I'm able to walk. I'm able to smile. Thank God I'm able to talk because someone wishes that they had a voice, whether it be because of vocal cord issues or whether it be because they feel like they can't talk, because they feel like they're trapped in a situation and they can't say anything. They've lost their voice, you know, um, because they just feel trapped. You know, just be grateful to God because it could be worse. Someone has it worse. Learn how to be grateful in everything. Especially when I go out in the morning, I love taking that, deep breath, saying, God, I thank you because one day, whenever you say it's time for me to come home, if you know, if you don't, if I don't get caught up, that one day when you decide to take us home, that I'll desire to take that next breath. And because you say it's time, I won't be able to, you know, like just realizing that God, our sovereign God, allows us to do all of these things that we take for granted. So don't take it for granted today. Realize that God has allowed you to have activity of your limbs. You're able to move. You're able to, like, I thank God even for the soreness that I have in my legs. Look, I've been challenging myself because I said, you know what, I need to up my game. I've lost 38 pounds now, and it was 40. I don't know if it was water weight with the 2 pounds or what, but I've lost 38 pounds. And I said, okay, after my games, every time I go near the stove, I have been doing 30 squats. So yesterday, I went by the stove 4 different times. And I still, after the fourth time, I was like, okay, I'm going to have to start avoiding this stove. But my legs started, so it's 120 squats, and my legs hurt so much. But I thank God that I'm able to feel that. I thank God that I'm able, that I was able to even do it because someone's knees don't work as well and they can't, and they wish they could, so I'm just grateful to God, even for the soreness, God. I'm grateful, you know. It's just pain leaving the body. It's just weakness leaving the body, So I'm grateful, God, that you've allowed all of these things. But so that's the message on today. Look for something to be grateful for, and believe me. And I need you to hear me. Everyone hear me? As my sister Queen Antoinette says, lean on in. Lean on in. Let me tell you something. You don't have to look far. If you think about it, you don't have to look far to be grateful. There's something right there. You don't have to look far to be grateful. Sometimes it's right underneath our nose. So, with that being said, thank you so much for joining me. Believe me, I will go back and comment on everyone's, or even the replayers, that post. I will go back and comment on your comments. I'm sorry if I did not see. I was getting the notifications tell. I put it on Do Not Disturb because I didn't want it to ring or anything while I was live. But I will go back and comment on your comments because you do mean a lot to me. I'm grateful for you. I'm very grateful for you, listening to not only the kingdom motivation, the morning motivation, motivation that the Word of God says we have all of these things, and for us to do all of these things, sometimes we just have to be reminded, So I'm so grateful that you listened to Queen Nate. Look, Queen Nation is here, right? But I am Shamika Willis, also known as Lady Queen I Am. I want to tell you, remember, if you change your mind, you'll change your life. So when I say change your mind, if you change the way that you think, your life will forever change. But you are your only limitation. You are the only one that limits you, because we serve a limitless God. So he gives us limitless potential. And we need to tap into that, right? We need to tap into that. But I thank you guys once again. Thank you once again for joining me. I love you guys. And remember, time out. I cannot forget to say, listen, let me take a sip of coffee. I just gave time for somebody else to come in the room just in case. Bridging the Nations tonight. Yeah, it will be live on my Facebook page. It will be live on my YouTube channel on tonight. Every Thursday at 6:30 p.m. Central Standard Time, 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Me, Anthony Williams, Antoinette Marie Williams, our triad, we go live, and it's called Bridging the Nations, right? And we talk about stuff that we deal with in our lives that we're like, okay, where does it talk about this in the Bible? Because I'm dealing with this and I've never heard anybody talk about this. How do I deal with this? That's what we talk about, real life situation, real life stuff, so you can live the best life, right? So 6:30, be back here. 6:30, come back here, and it will be live. But I thank you guys so much. I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful morning, wonderful, beautiful Thursday morning. And remember, be grateful. Be grateful. I love you guys, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.